Hello and welcome to Morten's Corner. Today we will be talking about template options and autoplay, and then we'll be discussing HTML encapsulation of the video links as well as an iframe embedding, and lastly we'll talk about the MP4 video format. So to first touch off, let's talk about some of the video options. When you come into your publishing template and come down to, we're going to start off by recording actually, because something that people don't know often is that if you come down here to view, you can select which start view you want. Here you can say that you have the web page. This is what you see here. This is standard view. You have just the full web page with all the formats, or you can tell it to start with one of the video formats. Just align with your users what the expectations are, because if you're going to be blasting them with a video, as soon as they click on a work instructions, that might be not what they're searching for. But if your experience is that most people watch the videos anyway, then you could of course have a little shortcut by doing that, right? So you could have all the videos, all the recordings by default start with opening up the show me video, and there you have it. So coming down to some of the video options here. One thing you'll see here, the first one is the voice. Here you can override the choice of voice, which is selected up here. So just keep that in mind. So if you selected some voices up here and you expect those to be the ones that you see, the ones that you will hear in the videos, but then actually in your video template, you have to find different voices, then you have kind of a misalignment. So make sure you have the right voices selected. Going further down, you can add a cursor if you want. The cursor has to be 24 by 24 pixels in a PNG format. Just make a comment on the community and I will leave a link to a cursor there, and you can modify if you want. Or you're of course welcome to just add your own and see how it works. If you want to, you can have a play button here. When you add a play button in the video options, I'll just save that so you can see. What it will do is it will stop. It will show you the title of your recording, and then we'll have a big play button here, and people will be expected to click it before the video starts. If you disable this feature, which is the default, the video will just play instantly. This is kind of the old school way we had it in ClickLearn Classic. And we moved away from that because people seem to like the new format more. Of course, you can also change some. You can also change, of course, like the font sizes and what color they have and stuff like that. So, what else? You have in the outro, you can choose to have the feedback form. So in the very end, you have a feedback form where people can send a comment and they can rate it, which is then being sent to your OData feed, or it's being sent to your SCORM package. If you have an LMS system, it will be sent to your LMS as a feedback query using SCORM code. Or you can disable and just have an outro image. So you want to have some nice corporate ending screen with some credits or something like that. Feel free to use that option instead. It's up to you. So moving on, in the show me video options, there are some cool settings that you should definitely know about. You have the controls here. You can choose that they're visible or not. These are the controls down here. This is where you decide whether or not the controls are available. You can also have it pop out from the bottom. Basically, that means that it's gonna pop out on when you hover with the mouse over the video. It's gonna pop out and then disappear again, kind of like the most standard video players do. You can also choose to have it outside the viewport. Let me show you when that makes sense to have, because some people would like that. So let me just play the video here, and you'll see what.
First chapter.
I'm gonna pause it here. So when you have it outside when you have it by default, which is visible, the play controls here, they are designed to cover the start menu, right? So you don't have all your program files and the time and date and your icons and the start menu and all this stuff. It's kind of hidden. But if you're recording on a system where you have a button down here, it can be really hard to click it. Or if you're one of those people that record in full screen mode, nothing wrong with that, then you would of course not want this. Then you would want to use the option called outside viewport. Let me just switch that now so you can see how that looks.
First chapter.
So when you have it outside the viewport, you can now see that the start menu is here. So basically we're zooming all the way out and we're putting the video in the frame. And we're having controls outside, right? You could of course also just have it, you could disable it completely, or you could have it pop up from the bottom. That's also possible. But outside viewport gives the user a good opportunity to use the index feature and of course the pause button and whatever other full screen controls they want to use. Or if they're on a mobile device, I would recommend they enable panning, because then the screen zooms in and it follows it around like a camera movement. So under playback, there are some more cool features. We have fast mode. So by default, ClickLearn will explain what you need to do. So it will go something like this. Click on the button dashboard. When the speech is done, the mouse will start to move and we'll click on dashboard. When you enable fast mode, it's gonna time the animation so that when the speech is done talking, the mouse will have completed the movement. So it's gonna say, click on the button dashboards, and then it will click. So it's around 30 to 40% faster overall, the video, which is nice. But just consider the audience before you enable it, because if I was brand new to CE and I never used it before and I was going to learn it for the first time, it might be too fast for me. I would probably have to pause the video and like, hey, what happened there? Let me just go back and yeah. So but if on the other hand, if you're doing like a veterans that just need updating their the knowledge for a new process or whatever, that might be fine. That part of the video is fast. For that purpose, you can also use multiple templates and apply those to different parts of your structure. So you can have like all the beginner guides without fast mode, and you can have the advanced guide with fast mode. If you wanted to, you could build it like that. You can do whatever you want. It's your portal. Another option you could enable is the action rectangle. Basically, this is just the hotspot from your work instructions that you know. If I enable that, you will see that you'll get the red highlight as well as the mouse movement. It helps put emphasis on what you're going to click. If you have a monitor with poor calibration of the contrast and brightness, it might be hard to see that mouse move and what it's going to click on. You know, it's not very bordered. They're very modern and kind of fluent in their design. So it can help to put emphasis on stuff. Let me just enable that so you can see how that looks.
This text block is kept with the next step. It is shown before the actual step instruction. Click on the item accounts. The text block may...
So it says click on the item accounts, and then the mouse will move down and click on it. Right now there is an extra text block that's going to be read before the mouse will move. That's by default. Because there's a text block before and after. It's just for demonstration, but basically that is what will happen.
May also be kept with the previous step instruction. It is shown below the instruction text.
And then you saw the mouse flick down. Oh yeah, this is the feedback screen I spoke of. So you can just say, there we go. If you find that your video is too fast, you can even slow it down. So you could have a pause after each step. It's also possible. You can also choose to disable the subtitles. So this video player you see here will be replaced by our new and more modern fresh player in hopefully around Q1 next year, so 2024. But until then, enable and disabling subtitles will have to be done here. In the new player, you'll be able to do it like directly here. There will be a button for it. So, but that will come. I think, yeah, I think that kind of wraps up the video options that I wanted to talk about. So moving on, Talking about the HTML and iframe encapsulation links we have. So what you can do now is, if I go and view my content here, this is my portal. What I can then do is that I can click after the link here and I can type question mark, copy link equals 1 or 3. There's also a 2, but it is reserved for a special LMS system. For 1 or 3, I would recommend. Let me just do 1 first. You can see how it looks. So I hit return, and then the page will reload. Then I can go into one of my recordings here, and I say, okay, I want to make a link for the show me video. So I click, and it's going to say video URL, copy to your clipboard. All right. Let's open Notepad and have a look at the link that we just copied here. So here you have the link. Basically, you can see that it's just the portal link followed by the recording. And then you have some properties, which is that we want the format of the video with auto fit, scaling, and the controls set at specific parameters. It's just the default where they're visible, right? So if I copy this and dump it into my browser here, you will see that the video just starts straight up. There's no portal around it, no nothing. It's kind of embedded here, right? So it's running directly on directly from the link. This link you could use to embed on your, if you have an intro web somewhere, or if you have a web server somewhere, or if you wanted, maybe not all your recordings like this, but just some of them, you might want them available on your intro web to say, hey, this is how you log into our system or whatever. Then you have a little video here that is all they see. Or you could have it in your, if you have an LMS system that supports it, you can dump it in there as part of the LMS package. So, so if it's not SCORM compliant, let's say your LMS system is not SCORM compliant, then you could, for example, use this link instead. Or if it is SCORM compliant, you can still use this link. And then the cool thing about this link is that this will auto update, of course. So when I make changes to this work instruction, I produce and publish it again, then the link will also be updated because it's grabbing the link live, right? You can see that it's loading my live link all the time. So that's pretty cool. If we go back and let's do the copy link equals 3, which is the iframe one. Do the other recording here, and this time I want the try me video. Video iframe copied to your clipboard. Okay, let's go to Notepad. Put it in here. So you'll see that it's the exact same link. It's just it's just asking for a different video format. That's fine, but it's actually the same link. All it has is that it has this iframe encapsulation around it in HTML code. That's the only real difference. So I'll take the link. Now I'll go to an LMS system. Inside my LMS system, I can create some new content. I'll do a micro learning course, and I'll just do a blank one. I can just go to all content blocks, select multimedia, and then embed. And I'll edit the link here. And here I can just paste this my iframe code, as you can see. ClickLearn, hit return.
Click on the navigation menu item Cronus Danmark AS.
There we go. And this is then the test me video, right? Sorry, the try me video that I asked for. So this is now running within the frame.
Click on the navigation menu item pop-up sales.
Pretty cool. So this is useful for some LMS systems that supports this, or you could of course use it on your web server or website, or well, any HTML enabled content that you may have. You might also have your own proprietary systems where you can embed code in. You could have the videos running like this if you wanted to. So that's definitely possible. You can also use this for XAPI. It's a longer configuration setup, but this is basically the gist of how it would work. You would of course have to configure your this is a special learning resource center key that you use and stuff like that. So if you are gonna use it for XAPI, just hit us up on support and we'll help you out with that. But yeah, this is how you can use the iframe encapsulation. The last thing I want to talk about is the MP4 format. So often people ask me, how can I just send the video to a user? Well, you could just, of course, send them the direct link that we just spoke of. You can, of course, send them that. You could also right-click and you could say share. That will also give you a not a permanent link, but a temporary link, which is like 30 days, right? For the whole recording with all the formats. But if you just want to send them the video and you don't want to, for example, you don't want to make that encapsulated link, you just want to send them the video, then you can create the MP4 format, which is the Windows video format. Now, the thing about the MP4 format is that it's an old-fashioned, stupid video file. It doesn't have the capabilities like the HTML video does. The HTML video is the one that has the show me, try me, test me. It also supports, if you have a flow question set up, it will pause and it will ask the user questions, and depending on their answer, it's going to take you through a different part of the process in the video. It also has the chapter index down the bottom. All these cool things is not part of the MP4 file. The MP4 file is just an old-fashioned video. That's all it is. When you produce it by default, it will of course publish it to the cloud, so that you would have to either download the MP4 file, so the video, or you could you can of course execute it directly in the browser if you have a MIME, the correct MIME plugin in your browser that supports MP4. But if you don't, produce it on premise. That's what I would recommend. So what we're doing, the template settings we're using for this is down here. I just have the Windows video for this, and I will then go to publishing. Let me just show you how it looks from the start guide. By default, you would have the content cloud selected. I'm going to disable that for the reason of just having MP4 files so I can stick them somewhere. I'll show you how it works. I'm going to go next, and then I'm asked where I want to place it because it's local, right? So I'll just put it on my local drive. Yep, and it's now producing. Yeah, you will see when you try to produce that it's going to tell you that Windows video will take a long time to produce, and that is true. I mean, these are old school large video files. It will likely take a lot longer than you're used to. So, like, don't worry if it's just hanging there and it's moving really slow. It's coming. It just takes a while. Click ignore. And we're going to ignore. And now it is publishing the content, or, well, it's not really publishing it because it's producing locally. We are going to publish it ourselves. So now it's done. I can then click open folder, and then I'll go up here and search. I'll type MP4, click on search, show all. If you're running Windows 10, you might not have it collapsed like that. But here you go. Now we just have all the raw videos, and that's it. Super easy. These can then be sent to users, or you can put them on YouTube or Vimeo or another video platform if you want to. So yeah, it's definitely an easy way to send it to users. Now, these sizes are not really representative of the real work instructions. The work instructions I have in this portal, if I just show you, these are just dummy instructions to make the portal look, big and nice, but in reality they're really short. Like maybe there's 3 or 4 steps in each. it's not your standard 150 step recordings, because then it would be a totally different scenario in terms of size, right? But yeah, there you have it. So yeah, you just search, then you can take them, drag them somewhere, wherever you want, and then you have your files. So yeah, that's it. But cool, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Morten's Corner session on the video options. And as always, if you have any questions, put them in the comments down below, or preferably on the community, as I will see them there first. And you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.